The third day was indeed the charm, although charm might not be the best way to describe the legislative wrangling over the past few days. Lawmakers passed an amended refinance bill by Senator Dennis Rodriguez, and in an apparent compromise, it did not include a series of spending amendments that several senators had objected to for lack of public hearings. The only spending in the bill was for bond-related fees for GITA and improvements at the hospital. But in a move that seemed to ruffle feathers, Senator Mike Nicholas challenged colleagues with an amendment to prioritize other payments instead.
But who on this floor wants to vote and say that they want to make that money go there before we pay our taxpayers within 30 days, before we pay our vendors within 30 days, before we pay our employees within 30 days? That's the only requirement that this amendment is setting. A standard, an actual standard, within which we will be required to make sure these payments go to our people. Let's finally say, Madam Speaker, that when we save money, we're going to prioritize the people that we owe.
The amendment was voted down, but not before drawing some terse responses, including from Majority Leader Senator Rory Respicio.
That the rhetoric has to stop. And if this senator wants to hold us accountable in this session hall, then I think that we should hold that chairman accountable for losing $30 million in potential savings by not having a public hearing on a measure that was introduced earlier in the year. So if the desire to save all this money is real, then why wasn't this done early on? And why did our oversight chair neglect his duty to have these bonds refinanced earlier, and we could have saved potentially $30 million more?
Yes,
so I don't like how the arguments is being framed.
The measure referred to was a bill similar to the one passed today, but one that was never reported out of San Nicolas's Finance Committee. The author was Senator Rodriguez.
We talk about the public's input is so important. Every one of us here believe that, and we know that, Madam Speaker. But the finance chairman didn't act on the bill in his committee to have a public hearing that said, we want to designate these monies for the Guam Memorial Hospital Authority. Nothing happened, no public hearing, Madam Speaker, so we can't now just come around and say, we need the public's input. Well, where were you for the past 6 months?
The Rodriguez bill passed by a vote of 9-4, with Speaker Juan Pat, Vice Speaker B.J. Cruz, and Senators Mike Nicholas and Tom Atta voting no. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.